BismiBukharihadithilla, in the name of the Bukhari Hadith God. I have been criticized for using the terms Bukharian and the religion of Bukharianism, followed by the majority of sectarian Muslims who falsely still believe they are on the straight path. This video explains why. Please watch the whole video before commentating or switching off. It is easy to see the wrong in others, but not in oneself. Or, as the saying goes, why condemn the splinter in another's eye whilst ignoring the log in thine own? Ganesh or the following, what is the difference? The messenger left no books of his sayings or practices and rely on Bukhari and others to narrate and authenticate them in a revolving circular act of self-correction, self-proofing. Yes, a forger in Hadith also forged the narrators, and all the others jumped on this fairy tale bandwagon to outdo each other in fantasy and herd mentality of self-evidence, their own witnesses. Along with Bukhari came the corrupting Quran commentators, men, human beings giving their opinion, and I commend them where they enhance our understanding of the Quran, but all too often they do nothing but add more absurd tales to divine wisdom. Add the sectarian imam schools of thought and the trinity of corruption is complete. Apologies, forged historical accounts can be added to these. With this comes their own self-appointed authority to make beliefs and practices not ordained in the Quran as religious obligations, with condemnation and the ultimate penalty for rejection. They are very skilled at their deviated ways, but no matter how much they say or do, all are false and a sham.
About delegating political authority, remember that among mankind there is he whose chatter on worldly affairs dazzles you, and he keeps swearing by God about what is in his heart, and he is exceedingly skillful in contending for his viewpoint. But as soon as he attains political power he goes all out spreading corruption on earth. His authority results in destruction of creation, the produce of land and labor, and the damage he does affects generations, whereas God does not love corruption and disorder. When it is said to him, "Be mindful of God," his false pride plunges him further down in inhumanity. Well, sufficient will be hell for him. What a cradle of despondence! And of mankind is he who dedicates himself to achieve the goals ordained by God. God is compassionate to his servants, showing them the right path. O you who have chosen to be graced with belief, enter all of you collectively into the prescribed system of life that guarantees peace and security, and do not follow the footsteps of Satan. Indeed, he is an open enemy to you. Satan, the selfish desires, alienates man from the Creator and divides humanity. Mubin, open, clear.
Bukharianism defined. Bukharianism is a word I define as the religion of those who have beliefs and practices derived from the fairy tale Hadith authors, their own writings, and not the words of the Messenger, and the Sunnah schools of thought, Sunni, Shia, and everything and everyone else who follows other than the Quran alone. A Bukharian is one who does the above, conveniently forgetting the meaning of shirk. The teachings of Bukharianism. When the Quran is not enough, the Quran states that it is complete and fully detailed for true monotheistic believers.
Here is the guidance you asked for. This is a book in which there is absolutely no doubt concerning its authority and authenticity, and it leaves no doubts lingering in a seeking mind. It is a guide for those who wish to journey through life in honor and security.
So I must believe in the Quran. But this is not enough, so I must believe in
the Quran and Hadith, which include the following books. A. Sahih Bukhari, collected by Imam Bukhari, died 870, includes 7,275 hadiths. B. Sahih Muslim, collected by Muslim bin al-Hajjaj, died 875, includes 9,200. C. Sun al-Surah, collected by al-Nasai, died 915. D. Sun Abi Dawud, collected by Abu Dawud, died 888. E. Sun al-Tirmidhi, collected by al-Tirmidhi, died 892. F. This one is disputed, sometimes referred to as al-Muwatta, collected by Imam Malik, died 796, and sometimes Sun ibn Majah, collected by Ibn Majah, died 886, some have even considered Sun al-Darimi to be the sixth.
G. Kitab al-Kafi of Kulayni, divided into Usul al-Kafi, Furu al-Kafi and Rajdat al-Kafi.
H. Man la Yaduruhu el-Faqi of Sheikh Saduq. I. Tartib al-Arkam by Abu Ja'far al-Tusi. J. Al-Istibzar by Abu Ja'far al-Tusi.
But this is not enough, so I must believe in
The Quran, Hadith and the commandments of the Imams of the 5 schools of thought. 1. Hanafi. The Hanafi school of thought was headed by Imam al-Nu'man ibn Thabit, Abu Hanifa, who lived from 80H to 150H. 2. Maliki. The Maliki school of thought was headed by Imam Malik ibn Anas al-Asbahi, who lived from 93H to 179H. 3. Shafi'i. The Shafi'i school of thought was headed by Imam Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i, who lived from 150H to 198H. 4. Hanbali. The Hanbali school of thought was headed by Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who lived from 164H to 241H. He was born and died in Baghdad. 5. Jafri. The Jafri school of thought was headed by Imam Jafar ibn Muhammad al-Sadiq, who lived from 83H to 148H.
But this is not enough, so I must believe in
The Quran, Hadith, commandments of Imams and the example of the early companions, 3 generations. Salafi is a Sunni Islamic movement that takes the pious ancestors, the Salaf of the patristic period of early Islam as exemplary models. 1. The word Salaf is an Arabic noun which may be translated as predecessor or ancestor. 2. In Islamic terminology, it is generally used to refer to the first 3 generations of Muslims, the Sahaba, the companions, the Tabi'in, the followers, and the Taba at Tabi'in, those after the followers. These 3 generations are looked upon as examples of how Islam should be practiced.
But this is not enough, so I must believe in
The Quran, Hadith, Imams, 3 generations of companions, and the historians. Abu Ja'far Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabari, 838–923 was one of the earliest, most prominent and famous Persian historian and exegete of the Quran, who wrote exclusively in Arabic, most famous for his Tariq al-Tabari, History of the Prophets and Kings, and Tafsir al-Tabari, plus books of Hanafiism. I will not list the other sacred texts of Shafi'ism, Malikism, etc., etc. Please pause and read the list if you are that way inclined, as it is getting longer and longer.
But this is not enough, so I must believe in
The Quran, Hadith, Imams, 3 generations, historians and Imams of the modern era, including Cairo, Egypt, 1314 Ibn al-Turkomani 285, born probably Gulistan, Uzbekistan, after 1354, etc., etc., etc.
When will they learn? When will they learn? When the Quran is enough, we have a choice of either following Allah and His Quran alone approach, as advocated in the Quran, or the depths of ignorance in a dark sea of ancestral tales, rules and regulations. What and who is to be enough for you is a free will option available for each and every one who can or should be able to think, but get it wrong and consequences ensue.
As for those who reject the message, their deeds are like a mirage in the desert. The thirsty one supposes it to be water until he comes to it and finds nothing. However, he does meet God's laws of requital to pay him his due. God is swift at taking account, or like total darkness in the midst of a deep ocean, with waves upon waves and a thick cloud above, darkness upon darkness. When he holds out his hand, he can barely see it, for whomever God deprives of light, will have no light.
Allah is enough as trustee.
Whoever obeys the messenger, obeys God. But if any turn away, we have not sent you as a watcher over them. They express verbal allegiance, obedience. But when they go away from you, a party of them spends the night in planning other than what you tell them. God records what they plan by night. But ignore them and put your trust in God, for God is enough as trustee. Will they not then try to understand this Quran? If it were from other than God, they would have found in it much contradiction and inconsistencies. The Book of God provides easy and practical social guidance. There are people who spread rumors pertaining to safety or fear. Those who hear rumors shall refer the matter concerning public safety and threat to the messenger and the government officials. Those who endeavor to gain intelligence will know what to do with it. Had it not been for the bounty of God and His mercy, most of you would still be following the satanic elements. Unto Him belongs the kingdom of the heavens and earth, and to God return all affairs. All things find their source in Him, and His laws determine the final end of all actions. He merges the night into the day, and merges the day into the night. He is knower of all that is in the hearts. Believe in God and His messenger, and spend on others of what He has made you trustees of your wealth and persons. Those of you who believe and spend on fellow humans, theirs will be a great reward. Nafaq, keeping open, spending on others, not hoarding. And what is amiss with you that keeps you from having conviction in God? And the messenger invites you to believe in your Lord, and he has taken your pledge. If you are believers, He is the one who sends down clear messages to his servant, to bring you out from the depths of darkness to the splendorous light. For you, God is compassionate, merciful.
The messengers served Allah alone.
All messengers gave good news, as well as warning, so that humans would not have an argument against God. After the messengers conveyed to them the guidance, God is almighty, wise. God bears witness concerning what he has revealed to you. With his own knowledge he has revealed it. If you reflect on the order in the universe, you shall find that the angels, the universal laws, also bear witness, yet, God is sufficient witness. Those who deny such obvious truth and hinder others from the way of God, they have certainly wandered far astray. Those who oppose the truth and violate human rights, God will never forgive them, and he will never show them a road, except road of hell, wherein they abide forever, and that is ever easy for God. Hindering people from truth is one of the worst violations of human rights. O people! The messenger has come to you with truth from your Lord, so if you believe, it is best for you. But if you disbelieve, still to God belongs whatever is in the heavens and earth. God is knower, wise. Following his commands brings you in harmony with the universe, O people of the scripture. Do not exaggerate in your religion, say nothing about God except the truth. The Messiah Jesus son of Mary was a messenger of God, the fulfillment of his word to Mary, created according to the laws of creation and given free will from the divine energy like all human beings. Believe in God and his messengers, and say not, 3. Cease. It is for your own good. God is but one God. Far removed it is from his supreme majesty that he should have a son. Everything in the highs and everything in the lows belongs to him. God is enough as a trustee of the universe. Never was the Messiah too proud to serve God, nor the angels nearest to him shy from obeying him. Whoever shuns his service and is proud, he will assemble all to him.
Allah is the only witness.
When we bestow bliss on the human being, he turns away and withdraws. But when a hurt touches him, then he comes full of long prayers. Say, think, if this revelation is from God, and then you reject it. Who is further astray than one who stubbornly opposes it? This book is all about you, Shikakim Bade, stubborn opposition, far-reaching schism. Soon, we will show them our signs in the utmost horizons and within themselves and their own people until it becomes obvious to them that this Quran is certainly the truth. Is it not enough that your Lord is witness to all things including this proclamation? And fuse him, within themselves, within their psyche, within their own people. Oh, why? They are still in doubt about meeting with their Lord. Most certainly, he encompasses everything in his mighty dominion.
When the Quran is enough, Allah is the only witness. The words of the Quran do not contradict each other and meanings go from simple to higher levels of understanding. It says that looking within oneself and the world about us will produce evidence of the truth that Allah has revealed therein, but this also means that we need no other evidence which negates the Bukharian hadith. They are not required to better ourselves, to make us holy before God, as Allah is all we need and all we need is his guidance, the Quran.
Some people before you asked such questions and then rejected the instructions. God did not ordain that certain kinds of cattle and other livestock be marked out, assigned names, and set aside from human use or consumption. Disbelievers invented such superstitions and attributed them to God. Most of them do not use their intellect. When it is said to them, "Come to what God has revealed and to his messenger," they say, "Enough for us is what we found our parents doing." What? Even though their parents had no knowledge whatsoever and no guidance. O you who have chosen to be graced with belief, you are responsible for yourselves. He who goes astray cannot harm you if you are rightly guided. All of you will return to God, and he will make you understand all that you were doing in life.
The answer when the Quran is not enough.
And the messenger will say, "O my Lord, these are my people who had abandoned this Quran as something to be neglected."
Bukharianism is abandoning the Quran by those who proclaim to be the people of Sunnah when the only practice of the messenger is repeatedly stated in the Quran as following Quran alone.
And the messenger will say, "O my Lord, these are my people who had abandoned this Quran as something to be neglected."
The Quran Unchained.